There are small moments that make no noise, that seek no attention, yet manage to touch the heart in the quietest way. That moment came when Jungkook sat with a croissant in his hand, simple, warm, and full of sincerity, while beside him, Jimin was there with a gentle smile that seemed to be born from a sense of safety. No words were spoken, no grand scene was arranged, yet the silence between them spoke louder than 1,000 sentences. Jungkook took a bite of the croissant with an expression of satisfaction that was almost childlike. His cheeks puffed slightly, his eyes narrowing in quiet happiness, as if he were truly savoring the world in miniature. The taste of butter, the texture of the bread, the comfort of the moment itself. He was not being a global idol. He was simply Jungkook, someone who found joy in simplicity and allowed that joy to show without hesitation. And Jimin, without realizing it, became the most faithful witness. He didn't look away. His smile lingered, calm, warm, as if he knew that the small happiness in front of him was something worth protecting. That gaze was not one of admiration, nor a performance for the stage. It was a look filled with care, the look of someone who feels complete simply by seeing the person beside him doing well. Then the butter slid, slick, stubborn, as if refusing to behave. Jungkook laughed softly, a light and honest sound, laughter born without any weight. Jimin laughed along, a quiet chuckle that nearly blended with his breath. In that instant, time seemed to slow. There were no schedules, no camera lights, no outside world. Just two people laughing over something trivial, and somehow that was where the beauty lived. Many smiled as they watched. Many others found themselves holding back tears without realizing it. Not out of sadness, but because the warmth was almost too much to contain. Because seeing two people, often placed high on a distant stage, return to something so close and real felt deeply moving. A sense of safety spread, a comfort that quietly seeped into the hearts of anyone who witnessed it. Perhaps that is what makes this moment so touching. It did not try to be special. It did not ask to be remembered. And yet, because of its simplicity, it lingers. In Jimin's gentle smile, there is calm. In Jungkook's innocent laughter, there is joy. And between the two of them, there is a quiet space filled with warmth. In a world that constantly demands perfection and endless attention, this moment feels like a pause. A long breath. A reminder that happiness does not always come from something grand, but from sincere presence. From sitting side by side. From laughing over slippery butter. From a smile that needs no explanation. And perhaps that is why this moment makes people smile while crying. Because it is so gentle, so honest, so deeply human. A small slice of time that makes no noise, yet quietly heals, and continues to live on in the heart, long after the croissant is gone. Long after the moment passed, its warmth continued to linger, like a soft echo that refused to fade. It was the kind of memory that returned unexpectedly, in quiet hours or tired moments, bringing comfort without asking permission. Fans carried it with them, not as a spectacle, but as something personal, something that felt strangely intimate despite being shared by so many. What made the moment so powerful was its honesty. There was no effort to impress, no intention to create something memorable. It simply existed, and in that existence, it reminded everyone that authenticity often shines brightest when nothing is being performed. Jungkook and Jimin did not try to show closeness, they simply were close. In a world where idols are often framed as flawless figures, Moments like this gently pull them back down to earth. They become human again, laughing at small mishaps, enjoying food, sharing quiet joy. It is in these unscripted seconds that fans feel closest to them, not as distant stars, but as people with warmth and softness in their hearts. The silence between Jungkook and Jimin spoke of familiarity built over years. A silence that did not need to be filled. A silence that felt safe. It was the kind of silence that only exists when two people understand each other deeply, when presence alone is enough. Many fans describe the feeling as comfort they didn't know they needed. After long days and heavy thoughts, watching that simple exchange felt like being reminded to breathe, to slow down, to find joy in things as small as shared laughter and gentle smiles. The croissant, the butter, the quiet laughter, all of it became symbolic. Not because it was extraordinary, but because it was ordinary. And perhaps that is what made it unforgettable. It showed that happiness does not need to be loud to be real. As clips and images continued to circulate, people revisited the moment again and again. Each time, it seemed to offer something different. Calm, reassurance, nostalgia. It became a small refuge, a place fans returned to when the world felt overwhelming. Jimin's gentle smile lingered in people's minds, not as an image, but as a feeling. A reminder of care, of attentiveness, of looking at someone and silently wishing them well. Jungkook's laughter, light and unguarded, carried the kind of joy that feels contagious without trying to be. Together, they created a space that felt untouched by pressure or expectation. A brief moment where nothing else mattered. No roles to fulfill. No images to maintain. Just two people sharing time and letting that be enough. And perhaps that is why this moment continues to live on. Because it was never meant to be big. It was meant to be real. A quiet reminder that even in the busiest, loudest world, there are still gentle moments waiting to be felt. Moments that heal without making a sound and stay long after they pass.